Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have a few books to share with you because I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in November. Okay, the first book I read in November is Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the third book in the Caraval trilogy. I was so excited to read this. I knew I wanted to finish this series before 2024 because I wanted to start Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which is like a spin-off I believe. But I read Caraval back in April I believe, and I finally got to Finale. I gave this a 4 out of 5. I feel like this was the perfect way to wrap up the Caraval trilogy, and I was like really happy with the way it ended. I would say that this is my second favorite book out of the series because nothing can top Caraval. But this book was so intriguing. Like, Stephanie Garber always knows how to write super fast-paced, intriguing books. Like, there's always something going on, and there are just so many plot twists that you just never expect. So I literally enjoyed that book so much. It was a great way to start off the month. The second book I read in November is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. This is the third book in the Boys of Tommen series. This is Joey and Aoife's first book. I also gave this a 4 out of 5. The Boys of Tommen series is literally so heartbreaking. I'm sure you've heard of it before. The first two books are Binding and Keeping 13. Those are Johnny and Shannon's books. Saving Six was literally so heartbreaking. Reading about Joey's story is just so heartbreaking, especially since we've read part of it in Shannon's book, but now we're getting Joey's perspective, and it just like broke my heart so much. It's seeing how Joey and Aoife, like, they're able to come together and save each other. But I gave this a 4 out of 5. I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 just because, like, I feel like it's just so long. Like, the first book ends on a cliffhanger and then the second book like continues, but the first book is from like when they go into like middle school to like when they're seniors or something, and then that's like already like 800 pages, and then there's still another book, and that second book is longer I believe. So I just feel like it's just so stretched out, but I do love the story so much. That's why I gave it a 4 out of 5. The third book I read is Daughter of the Pirate King. This book is by Trisha Levenseller. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5. I did enjoy the book. Like, it has an interesting premise. It's about this girl. She's the daughter of the pirate king. Like, he's like the king of all the other pirates. She goes undercover to be captured by these other pirates. She has to like steal something from their boat, but she's like undercover. It's basically enemies to lovers, and they're both pirates because she ends up falling for the co-captain or whatever, right-hand man of the boat that she's undercover on. So it was like really interesting. I felt like it was very fast-paced. The book was really short and so much happened in such little time. The only reason why it's not a higher rating is because I felt like there could have been more. Like, it's described as enemies to lovers, which I would say it is. It's just it's not really focused on, and to be honest, they're not enemies for that long. It's more like really small hate to love. It's not actual enemies to lovers, and I felt like the writing was very like short and not descriptive at all. But besides that, it was a really fun, interesting read. Like, it's super quick, so I really did enjoy it. It's just not one of my favorites. The fourth book I read was Collide by Bal Kahabra. I really don't know how to say her name, so sorry if I said that wrong, but this is a hockey book. I loved this book so much. I gave this a 4 out of 5. So basically, it's Summer and Aiden. Aiden's the captain of the hockey team. Summer is like very scholarly. Like, she's always like doing her work, always trying to be ahead of it, and so she's trying to get into this program, but in order to do that, her advisor wants her to work with the hockey team, but she absolutely hates hockey, so she's like really hesitant about it. And then she ends up having to work with Aiden because Aiden gets in trouble and he's like forced to work with Summer. So then it's like forced proximity because they have to like work on this project together. And then Aiden is like the sunshine boy, and then Summer is like the black cat, you know, and he's the golden retriever because she's just like super focused on school and trying to get in her program. But then Aiden's trying to like get her to loosen up a bit. And it's just the cutest book ever. It also talked about some deeper stuff like family issues. So I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I don't know if I said that already, but this book was so good. I definitely recommend it. I literally love hockey books. This kind of reminded me of the deal how Garrett was getting tutored by Hannah, and they kind of give off similar vibes, like Hannah and Summer and Aiden and Garrett. It's just like very similar. So if you liked the deal, I would say that you would probably like Collide and vice versa. But yeah, I really enjoyed that book so much. Like, you have to read it. The fifth book I read is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I'm sure you've heard of this book before because I've seen it all over TikTok and Instagram. This is a thriller book about this girl who becomes a housemaid for this super super rich family. She soon finds out that this family has like huge secrets. Normally, I really can't read thrillers or horrors unless there's like romance on the side, you know? This one didn't really have any romance, but I was still able to read it in like a day. I read it basically overnight, which says a lot if I'm not normally able to like stay interested in a book without romance. So this says a lot that this book actually is like super intriguing. Like I definitely recommend it. I did not expect that plot twist at all. Like The Secret, I did not expect that at all. I was like on the edge of my seat the whole time I was reading it. It's so good. I'm sure you've seen this before, or even the author. This author is super trending, but I definitely recommend it if you want to read a thriller. And also, it's not like too scary. It's just more mystery-ish. I don't know if that's really weird, but it's like more like trying to figure out what the secret is, like why the family is like off, you know? And it's not too scary. It does start off saying that there's like a dead body upstairs, but it's not like super scary or anything, in case that kind of throws you off, but don't worry, it's not scary. And the last book I read in November, which is my favorite so far out of all the books I've read, is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I just finished this and I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I'm gonna post a whole reading vlog on this so you can like see all my thoughts as I read it. But this book is so good. It's my favorite book of the month. Lynn Painter has done it again. It's just the cutest read ever. It's about Emily and Nick. Emily relives Valentine's Day over and over again, and every time she runs into Nick, no matter the circumstance, like she can prevent it all she wants, but she still ends up with Nick. And I feel like they are just the perfect couple for each other. Like they balance each other out really well. Like Emily's super school oriented, like super focused on that, and then Nick is more focused on like himself and his family and stuff. So I feel like he brings a little bit more fun to her life and she is able to do the opposite, you know? But I feel like this was a super cute book. I feel like they complement each other really well too. But yeah, this is just a super cute read, you know, comfy read. It's pretty short too, and it's just the cutest thing ever. I literally love Nick Stark. He is my husband. So yeah, if you read Better Than the Movies, I would say you would like this book. They're pretty similar. They're both young adult, and I believe that everyone should read this book right away if they haven't, because it's so good and I'm so happy I read it. But yeah, those are all 6 books that I read in November. I would say it's a pretty good reading month because they were all like 4-ish stars, so I'd say that's a success. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!